Hello, everyone. Frank here from English Podcast Flow. And today, we need to talk about something important. You know, your job. You're good at what you do. But when you need to describe your work in English, suddenly, your mind goes blank. Maybe it's a video call with an international colleague. Maybe it's updating your LinkedIn profile. Maybe someone asks, "So, what do you do?" And you freeze. This happens to so many English learners. You have the skills, you have the experience, but you don't have the language to talk about your work confidently. That changes today. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to describe your entire work routine in clear, professional English, not with fancy corporate jargon, just simple, confident, natural phrases. Let's build your workplace confidence together. Okay, so why do we need a separate episode about work routines? Because workplace English is different from everyday English. At work, you need to sound professional but not robotic, clear but not too casual, confident but not arrogant. It's a specific tone, and it requires specific vocabulary. Think about it. At home, you might say, "I'm gonna grab some food." But at work, you'd say, "I'm going to get lunch." Small difference, but it matters. Now here's the good news. Once you learn how to describe your specific work routine, it becomes automatic. Because you do the same things every day. Just like Alice taught you with cooking, repetition builds fluency. So today, we're going to use a technique I call the work story method. Instead of memorizing isolated phrases, you're going to build your own work story, a narrative that flows naturally, from morning to evening, and we're going to build it together, step by step. Ready? Let's start with how you begin your workday. Every work story starts the same way. You arrive. But here's what I want you to notice. Instead of just teaching you phrases, I'm going to tell you my work story first. Then I'll help you build yours. Listen to how I describe my morning arrival. Pay attention to the flow, the phrases, the rhythm. I usually arrive at the office around 8:30 in the morning. I take the elevator to the 4th floor, where my department is located. When I walk in, I greet my colleagues. I say good morning and ask how's everyone doing today. Then I head to my desk. I set down my bag, turn on my computer, and wait for it to boot up. While it's starting, I grab a cup of coffee from the break room. Once my computer is ready, I check my emails first. I usually have about 20 new messages overnight. I read through them and prioritize which ones need immediate responses. Then I look at my calendar to see what meetings I have scheduled for the day. I also review my task list to see what projects need my attention. By 9 a.m., I'm fully set up and ready to start my main work. Okay, did you notice something? I didn't just list actions. I told a story. One thing led naturally to the next. Now, let's break this down into the key components you need for your morning arrival. Story. Component 1. How you arrive. I usually arrive at. I get to work around. I start my shift at. Component 2. Your greeting ritual. I greet my colleagues. I say hello to everyone. I check in with my team. Component 3. Your setup routine. I turn on my computer. I log into my systems. I prepare my workspace. Component 4. Your first tasks. I check my emails. I review my schedule. I look at my task list. Now, here's your homework. Mentally create your morning arrival story using these components. What do you actually do when you get to work? Think about it. We'll come back to this. Now let's talk about the main part of your workday. What you actually do all day. This is where it gets specific to your job. So I'm going to give you a framework that works for any profession. Listen to how I describe my core work activities. Most of my morning is spent in meetings. I attend project update meetings where we discuss progress and roadblocks between meetings. I work on my main responsibilities. I analyze data, create reports, and prepare presentations. Around midday, I collaborate with my team. We brainstorm ideas, solve problems together, and share feedback on each other's work. I also communicate with other departments. I send emails, make phone calls, and sometimes video conferences with remote colleagues. Throughout the day, I take short breaks. I might stretch, grab water, or have a quick chat with a coworker to clear my head. Now, notice how I use different verb phrases: attend meetings, work on responsibilities, collaborate with team, communicate with departments, take breaks. These are professional action phrases. Not I do meetings, I attend meetings. Not I talk to people, I communicate with colleagues. Here's the framework for your core activity story. Framework. Most of my day is spent. Your main activity. Let me give you examples for different jobs. If you're a teacher, most of my day is spent teaching classes. I prepare lessons, deliver lectures, and answer students' questions. I also grade assignments and provide feedback. Throughout the day, I monitor student progress and adjust my teaching methods. If you're in sales, most of my day is spent communicating with clients. I make phone calls, send proposals, and conduct presentations. I also follow up with potential customers and maintain relationships with existing ones. Throughout the day, I update our sales database and track my targets. If you're a developer, most of my day is spent writing code. I develop new features, fix bugs, and test applications. I also review my colleagues' code and attend stand-up meetings. Throughout the day, I troubleshoot issues and document my work. See the pattern? Now think about your job. What verbs describe what you do? Quick pause. I know we're building your work story, and you might want a template to help you structure it perfectly. I've created a professional English work routine template with sentence frameworks for different industries, plus common workplace phrases and professional vocabulary organized by function. Just scroll down to the comments and click the link to get your template. This template will help you craft your complete work story in English. You can use it to practice, prepare for interviews, or update your professional profiles. It's designed to make you sound confident and natural when talking about your work. So grab it from the comments and let's keep building your work story. Alright, now we're getting to the interesting part. The challenges you face at work and how you handle them. Because here's the thing, anyone can describe routine tasks. But when you can talk about problem solving, that shows real English competence. Listen to this part of my story. Not every day goes smoothly. Sometimes I face challenges. For example, last week, we had a technical issue with our main software system. It crashed during an important presentation. I had to think quickly. I contacted our IT support team immediately and explained the situation. While they worked on fixing it, I used a backup solution to continue the presentation. It was stressful, but we managed to solve the problem as a team. The client appreciated our quick response and professionalism. This kind of situation teaches me to always have a backup plan and stay calm under pressure. Notice how I told a mini story. Problem gives action gives result gives lesson. This is how professionals talk about their work. Not just I do tasks, but I solve problems. Let me give you examples. Customer service challenge. Sometimes I deal with difficult customers. For example, last month, a customer was very upset about a delayed delivery. I listened to their concerns carefully, apologized sincerely, and offered a solution. I expedited their order and provided a discount. The customer left satisfied and even wrote a positive review. This taught me that empathy and quick action can turn negative situations into positive ones. Time management challenge. Sometimes I have competing deadlines. For example, recently I had to finish a report while also preparing for an important meeting. I prioritized my tasks and broke them into smaller steps. I completed the most urgent items first and delegated some Tasks to my team members. We met both deadlines successfully. This taught me the importance of prioritization and teamwork. Now think, what's one challenge you face at work? And how do you handle it? This is the story that makes you memorable in job interviews and professional conversations. Now let's talk about how you end your workday. This is just as important as how you start. Listen to my ending routine. Around 5 p.m., I start wrapping up my work for the day. I review what I accomplished. I check off completed tasks on my to-do list and make notes about anything that needs to be continued tomorrow. I send any final emails that need responses before I leave. I also update my calendar for the next day so I know what to expect. Before I shut down my computer, I organize my desk. I file important documents and clear away any clutter. Then I say goodbye to my colleagues who are still in the office. I wish them a good evening and head out. On my commute home, I reflect on the day. What went well? What could I improve? This helps me prepare mentally for tomorrow. By the time I get home, I've transitioned out of work mode and I'm ready to relax. Notice how I don't just say I leave. I describe the transition, the wrap-up, the reflection. Professional English is about showing you're thoughtful and organized, not just rushing out the door. Now, here's a complete exercise I want you to do. Tell your entire work story out loud. Start with arrival. Move through your core activities. Include a challenge. End with your wrap-up. Time yourself. Your complete work story should be about 2 to 3 minutes long. That's perfect for networking events, interviews, or casual professional conversations. And here's the magic. Once you've practiced this story 10 times, it becomes automatic. You'll never struggle to describe your work in English again. All right, now I'm going to give you a challenge that will build your workplace English faster than anything else. I call it the 7-Day Work Narration Challenge. Here's how it works. Day 1, morning commute. On your way to work, narrate your commute in English, out loud if possible. Mentally if you're on public transportation. I'm leaving my house. I'm walking to the bus stop. The weather is cool today. Day 2, first hour. During your first hour at work, mentally narrate everything you do. I'm turning on my computer. I'm opening my email. I have 15 new messages. Day 3, meeting or interaction. After a meeting or conversation, recap it to yourself in English. We discussed the project timeline. My manager asked about progress. I explained that we're on track. Day 4, problem solving. When you face any challenge during the day, describe the problem and your solution in English. The printer isn't working. I'm checking if it has paper. Now I'm restarting it. Day 5, collaboration. When you work with others, narrate the collaboration. My colleague and I are brainstorming ideas. She suggested trying a new approach. I'm taking notes. Day 6, end of day review. At the end of the workday, summarize your entire day in English. Today I completed 3 reports, attended to meetings, and resolved a client issue. Day 7, weekly reflection. Summarize your entire work week in English. What did you accomplish? This week was productive. I finished the project proposal, presented to the team, and started planning next month's objectives. After 7 days of this practice, something amazing happens. Your brain starts automatically thinking in English during work. Pause, and I want you to share your experience in the comments. Tell us, what was the hardest part? What felt natural quickly? Did you discover any vocabulary gaps? How did this change your confidence? Let's support each other in this challenge. Let me tell you something important about professional English. The difference between sounding like a beginner and sounding professional isn't grammar. It's not even vocabulary. It's consistency and confidence. When you can describe your work smoothly, without long pauses, without apologizing for your English. That's when people see you as a professional. Think about it. Native speakers make grammar mistakes all the time. They use simple words, but they speak confidently and consistently. That's what we're building here. Not perfection, confidence. And confidence comes from repetition. When you've told your work story 20 times, the 21st time flows naturally. So don't worry about making your English fancy. Worry about making it clear and confident. Simple words plus confident delivery equals professional English. Complex words plus hesitant delivery equals sounds unsure. Your goal is to sound like someone who knows their job. And the best way to show that, tell your work story smoothly. That's the psychology behind it. Keep practicing, and the confidence will come. You know what I love about this approach? It's not just about learning English. It's about building your professional identity in English. When you can confidently describe your work, you open doors, better job opportunities, international collaborations, career advancement. But more than that, you feel proud. You feel capable. You feel like yourself, even in English. Because here's the truth. Your expertise doesn't change when you speak English. You're still the same skilled professional. You just need the language to express it. And that's what we're building here at English Podcast Flow. Not just language skills, professional confidence. So if you want Frank and Alice to be your daily guides, helping you build English that serves your career and your life, hit that subscribe button. We're here every single day with practical, real-world English that you can use immediately. When you subscribe, you're investing in your professional future, and we're committed to supporting that journey. Tomorrow, Alice is coming back with something unique and powerful. Practice English while walking daily. Fluency sentences. She's going to teach you how to turn your daily walks into English practice sessions. It's all about building fluency through movement and repetition. Imagine using your morning walk, your lunch break stroll, or your evening walk to build automatic English. That's what's coming tomorrow. So don't break your streak. Come back tomorrow. Keep building these daily English habits. And tonight, practice telling your work story once, just once, start to finish, out loud. You'll be amazed at how natural it starts to feel. I'm proud of you for investing in your professional English. Keep going, keep growing, and keep flowing with your English. See you soon.